Hey everyone, I'm your host Tyler, and welcome to another episode of the Lifehack Show. Today, we're going to be talking about our time and how do we prioritize that. Do you ever feel like you are just so overwhelmed and busy? Maybe that your time just feels like it's constantly growing and that the tasks you have just keep piling on and piling on? Well, you're not alone in this. Many people, including myself actually, feel this constant lament for a lack of time. Time is very limited, constantly flowing, and ever so precious to us. We are given 24 hours in a day and 365 days in a year. Learning to manage that time more wisely is the only way to maximize the time that we do have. When we're able to manage our time, it feels as though we are creating more time out of our already very busy schedule. And with our activity sheet, a free resource linked in the description below, you'll be able to prioritize your time better, manage it more, and actually feel like you're able to get your tasks done more efficiently. And of course, feel free to comment any questions you have down below. And if you want to reach out to me personally, feel free to follow me on Instagram or any other form of social media at TyTyForney or at TyTyForney96. All right, let's dive into this episode. While there are people who can't seem to finish all of their work in one day, on the flip side of this, there are other people who are actually able to get all of the tasks done that they need to do for that day, as well as have some extra time to enjoy what they love doing. Why is this, you may ask? Well, people who are chronically pressed for time usually have similar characteristics. The first one being people are not organized. People who are so disorganized not only waste their time looking at the tasks that they need to get done for the day, but lower and hinder the productivity and the success that they'll have. However, when we are organized, we're actually able to increase our productivity and have that extra time that I said earlier to do the things that you enjoy and see the people and enjoy time with those that you love and are most important to you. The second thing is not prioritizing. Priorities ensure that you are making the most efficient use of your time. If you don't rank tasks in order of their importance, you're gonna feel overwhelmed and not feel as though you have enough time in the day to accomplish all the things you need to do. I know for me this is a big one because of the fact that I tend to put all of the tasks that I need to do, from personal things to work stuff to my hobbies, I tend to put all the things I want to do in one day onto the same scale, and this just makes me feel overwhelmed because I'm not prioritizing the things that I need to do at different points during the day. And the third one is not tracking or budgeting your time. Tracking and budgeting our time is key in order for us to control our day. People who aren't budgeting and tracking their time are the ones that are constantly asking the question of where did the time go and wondering why they accomplished so little in their workday. Well, what's the good news of this? You can actually learn how to manage your time better and work smarter so that you can accomplish more in less time and feel like you're not being overwhelmed each day. You are able to control that. If you are lagging behind in mastering your day today, well then this section is very important to you, and I would jot some notes down. Here, we will learn the major framework in order to master your time management. And you see, every task has three major components to it. The first being intentionality. Why are we doing this? It's the big why question. The second thing being the value. What benefit does this task bring to you? And the third being cost. What do you give up or what do you invest in order to achieve the value of what you're doing? These three components will help you to identify the right tasks to focus on and spend the right amount of time doing each of them. But you'll need to know how to evaluate those things. And Lifehack has got you covered with the Superstructure Method. This method helps to put your actions in perspective and evaluate objectively what you need to do. Think of this as construction, like we're building a skyscraper. We have to build the foundation first, and once we've built that foundation, we can continue to build all the way up until we've reached the sky. Here is what the superstructure model is. And the first step of this method is to start with a clear intention. Look at all the tasks you have to do for the day and ask yourself, why do I need to do these tasks? And then once you've asked the big why question, ask yourself these two questions. Number one, what benefit am I getting out of this task? And number two, will this action step actually help myself in pushing my goals or my company's goals that I'm working for? And step number two is to decide the task's value. And then based on these goals, you are going to sort them into a list of one of 3 categories: the must-haves, the should-haves, and the good-to-haves. The must-haves are your most important tasks. These are critical and they need to get done in order to accomplish the goal that you're trying to push forward in. The should-haves are the goals that you ideally would like to do and would actually probably hinder you if you didn't get done, but they aren't the most important tasks. They're not necessarily the ones I need and have to get done. They would just be very ideal and very helpful and could potentially still negatively impact the goal you're pushing towards. And then third is the good to haves. These are kind of like the bonus tasks that we're able to do. These aren't necessarily important, but again, they'll ideally help us like the should haves, but instead of negatively impacting us, these are tasks that may not necessarily affect us negatively at all. They're just bonus tasks that would help in the process of whatever goal I'm pushing towards. And step number 3 here is to evaluate the tasks and prioritize. So from here, we've looked at the intentionality and the value of what we're doing. Now we're going to go into that third component, which is the cost. And the cost here is simply just looking at how much time is this project or this goal that I'm pushing towards going to take. Some tasks are extremely difficult and you really need a lot of focus, and sometimes may even need external help or other people to work alongside you in the task. But normally this is reflected in the time that it takes to do the project. At this stage, it's just kind of estimating how long you think each project is going to take you. At this stage, it's just kind of roughly estimating how long each task is going to take you. At Lifehack, the way we like to organize this is by 30-minute intervals. Feel free to use 15, 20-minute, hour-long intervals if that's more helpful to you. But for this context, we recommend that you use 30-minute intervals. And then on top of that, we recommend that you try not to break this up into longer than 3-hour projects. If something takes longer than 3 hours, it probably should be broken up and probably needs to be broken down into smaller tasks in order to accomplish it in a more long-term way. And when you have both the value and the cost, you're actually able to give this kind of like a numbered score in order to see what should be prioritized more and what should be prioritized less. And calculating the score is quite simple. All you have to do is divide this by the task value and the time cost. And from there, all you have to do is take the highest score, and this is deemed your most highest priority that you need to work on, and then your lowest score obviously being the one that you can wait a little bit on, and this can be maybe like a bonus project, but this is your lowest priority. And now that we know which tasks are our most prioritized and our lowest prioritized, now we can move on to step 4, which is scheduling those tasks. Now you're probably asking yourself, Tyler, how do I schedule this out? And it's as simple as just looking at it day by day throughout a work week and just scheduling out those times as needed. Feel free to organize this however you would like, but for you, you know the priorities now, and this will just really help you be able to look at this one task at a time and be able to fill up your week with everything you need to get done. And if you've been following with the work guide, all of this should come out seemingly through the work guide, and you'll be able to actually organize this out in a better way for you that's more personalized to you, and you'll actually feel a lot less overwhelmed in all of the work that you have to do that week. And with all of this and working through this guide, you'll have actually mastered how to manage your time, and you should feel a lot less overwhelmed. And actually, even in the day-to-day projects that you're doing, like the emails you have to check, the meetings you have, you may feel that your time is less weighted and you don't feel as rushed to get all the projects you have to do that day because the pressure is taken off because you have it all organized. And this will even take away that stress and the distractions that you feel because you're able to focus one task at a time. And here's a quick little bonus tip, because I know life happens sometimes and things are going to get backed up, things are going to constantly have to be pushed back, things will change, new projects will come up. And with that, I just recommend that you add kind of a backlog of tasks for you to push back, or have bonus tasks if you get what you need done for the day early. This will help you keep more structured and be able to focus on one task at a time and manage that time better. So in conclusion, our time is very limited and very precious to us, and we need to learn how to work smarter and not harder so that we can achieve more in such a limited amount of time each and every day. And so as demonstrated in this activity sheet, you can better manage your tasks and know how to become a master of your time, your prioritization, and your task management. And that's going to end this episode for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you for sticking out to the end of this episode. I hope that you're able to take something from this, and at the end of the day, like we've said before, not everything is going to work for you, but I hope some things in this were applicable to you. You were able to organize your time management, your priorities, and the value, and everything that you have to do in your day-to-day work to make your time feel as though it flows better, and that you actually, at the end of the day, really do have a lot more time than you think you do. It's just about organizing that. And as I've said before, the limitations sometimes actually give us more freedom. And finally, feel free to leave a comment down below or join our Facebook group of the Lifehack Show. We want to be a community that lifts people up, that helps people push through their goals and get to where they want in life and just be more productive. So feel free to join that community and leave a comment down below. I'd love to engage with you guys. And again, if you want to follow me on social media, it's at TyTyForney or at TyTyForney96. I would love to connect with you guys personally as well. And with that, that's the end of this episode. Thank you guys again for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day.